We're increasingly getting more of a sense of the texture and contours. How about that? The texture and contours of this very sick obsession with Taylor Swift among the MAGA right. You know, you hear less about QAnon these days, somewhat less. You hear less about some of the other conspiracy theories, but increasingly the obsession has been Taylor Swift, the supposedly rigged NFL in order to generate public and very prominent endorsements for Joe Biden by people like Taylor Swift, etc. We now have polling on this, and there's a Rolling Stone article that summarizes the Monmouth polling. 1/3 of conservatives think Taylor Swift is part of a conspiracy to help elect Joe Biden. Travis Kelce said of these conspiracies, "You're all crazy." Of course, the idea being that the relationship between Kelce and Taylor Swift is stage managed and fabricated by those close to Joe Biden in order to generate an environment in which Taylor Swift is injected into football discourse so that then she has a bigger platform from which to endorse Joe Biden. As you can see, I sound like a nut when I talk about it, but this is what they believe. And here's the data. A new Monmouth University poll finds that 1 in 5 Americans, this is overall, okay? 1 in 5 Americans overall believe, quote, a covert government effort for Taylor Swift to help Joe Biden win the presidential election actually exists. Among conservatives, the number is higher. It's about 1/3. 32% of conservatives, self-described, believe that there is a government conspiracy involving Taylor Swift. 71% of those who believe in the conspiracy identify with or lean towards the Republican Party. Not surprisingly, 83% of those who believe in the Taylor Swift conspiracy theory say they are likely to support Donald Trump in the fall. So, a couple different things here. There is often some kernel of reality. Sometimes we call it a kernel of truth. Sometimes we call it a kernel of reality. There is often a kernel of reality to these conspiracy theories in the sense that Taylor Swift expressed her preference for Joe Biden in 2020. So it's not crazy to think that at some point an endorsement of Biden could be forthcoming. That's not a conspiracy. That's just, well, her politics probably haven't changed since 2020. And if the same people are on the ballot, she will probably have the same preference. Okay. Second part of it. It is absolutely true that due to the success of her tour and other cultural flashpoints, Taylor Swift is even more prominent today than she was in 2020. And thus, if you are Joe Biden or anybody that Taylor Swift might endorse, you would be well incentivized. It would be logical for you to be thinking, hey, is there a way that we can leverage her fame and followers in order to help ourselves? Who wouldn't do that? If Taylor Swift liked Donald Trump, you can be sure. I mean, listen, Trump will try to name drop and take advantage of people like John Voight, Kid Rock, and Ted Nugent, who are far less well known than Taylor Swift because he thinks it helps him. And so obviously anybody who has Taylor Swift's is in Taylor Swift's good graces would try to get some kind of endorsement from her. The conspiracy idea that this is covert, it might involve the NFL. It might involve a scripted NFL season, right? This is where it goes overboard. They've scripted the outcome of the entire NFL season, and the relationship of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift has been concocted. They're not even really in a relationship. It's all so that she can dump the big endorsement of Biden to help him defeat Donald Trump. Not only is there no evidence of that, you don't really need to do any of that, especially since Taylor Swift has already shown herself, based on her 2020 behavior, to prefer Joe Biden over Donald Trump. So when you see these numbers, my takeaway is this is a really sick country. It's a really deranged electorate that we are up against. And to be quite honest, that same third of conservatives that believes in this conspiracy is probably the same third that believes Trump is an intelligent guy who has the best interests of the American people in his mind as a priority, as opposed to just what's good for him. And this is really the kind of moral and intellectual sludge of America. There's It's a grease trap of sorts. And this is why I continue to say it is not a worthy effort as an electoral strategy to try to change their minds. At an interpersonal level, if in your family you've got someone who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and believes this stuff, for either sport, entertainment, or just to feel like you're trying to do something to help your family, I am completely on board with you trying to change the minds of these misguided individuals. But as an approach for winning elections, you've seen the interviews that Luke Beasley does for us at the rallies. You've seen the focus groups. It is not a viable strategy to try to change the minds of these folks, especially when only 50 or 60% of the country votes. We can win by making them irrelevant. That's what I say. We don't call for violence. We don't need to insult them. We don't need to restrict their access to voting rights. We just need to make them operationally, politically irrelevant by coming out in such large numbers that they are diminished as a percentage of the total electorate. That's my view. It continues to be that way, and certainly these numbers don't change that. Many of us have holiday parties, New Year's parties coming up. You may enjoy an adult beverage. And let's face it, after a night with drinks, you don't necessarily bounce back the way maybe you used to. So you've got to make a choice. You could have a great night or a great next day. Until ZBiotics came along, our sponsor ZBiotics makes the world's first genetically engineered probiotics. Created by PhD microbiologists, ZBiotics is a probiotic drink, breaks down the byproduct of alcohol, which is responsible for some of those feelings the day after. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. This byproduct, not dehydration, is to blame for how you feel the next day. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic produces an enzyme to break that byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in the gut where you need it most. You drink a tiny bottle of ZBiotics before having any alcohol. You then drink responsibly, get a good night's sleep, and you will feel great the next day. ZBiotics works for so many people. Read the reviews online. Go to zbiotics.com/Pacman and you'll get 15% off your first order when you use code Pacman at checkout. The link is down below.